Bob, one of your main criticisms of Calvinism, and I think this is true of the free grace movement as a whole, is that they lack assurance. Are you saying that Christians should be sure of their salvation?
Absolutely. John Calvin is famous for having said that assurance is of the essence of saving faith. What he meant by that is, at the moment I believe in Jesus, I have assurance of my eternal destiny. Now that can be lost. It may be fleeting, but at least at some point in my life I have assurance. So to say, should believers have assurance, they must have assurance at some point or they're not believers, because that's what we're believing Jesus for. If we believe Jesus for some type of probationary salvation or temporary salvation, we've not yet believed him for what he promises. But if we do believe him for that, should that continue? Of course it should continue. I remember I was talking to one of the leaders of Dr. John MacArthur's ministry, and in the course of the conversation, he pointed out that, of course, we all go through doubts about our assurance from time to time. And I said, I don't. I said, I don't ever recall doubting that since I came to faith in late 1972. And he said, you're kidding. Well, the reason he's saying you're kidding is because from his perspective, a Calvinist perspective, that's impossible. Because when things go badly, you're going to doubt your assurance. But to me, no matter how badly my life is going, the only way I could lose assurance is if I take my eyes off Jesus. Because it's not about me, it's about him. And I've believed in him for everlasting life, therefore the only way I could lose assurance is if I stop believing him for everlasting life. I can't lose everlasting life, but I could lose my assurance. So to me, it's not about me. And if you make it about you, well then of course your assurance is really non-assurance. In fact, that's the funny thing about Calvinism. When Calvinists talk about assurance, they don't mean what we mean by assurance. We mean by assurance certainty. What they mean by assurance is some level of conviction that I'm probably born again. Like the pastor I was talking to said, I see some works in my life that seem like the work of the Spirit. I illustrate it this way. Let's say there were 300 million tickets sold for the state lottery. And let's say that you had 1 million of them. Well, your odds are what? 1 in 300 of winning? Your odds would be better than anybody else in the state. I doubt anybody else has 1 million tickets, but your odds are still pretty low in winning. But let's say you had half the tickets. You had 150 million tickets. Well, that's like Calvinist full assurance. Full assurance is, I've got a really good shot. Assurance is like, well, maybe I got 50 million tickets, so I got 1 chance in 6, or something like that. But there is no such thing as I've got all 300 million tickets. In fact, in my view, even that wouldn't be assurance, because what if I lose the ticket? Then I don't win. In my view, what assurance is not only do I have the winning ticket, but I already have the proceeds in the bank and I have the receipt from the bank to prove I've already won. The money's already in my account. That's what assurance is, that Jesus has guaranteed my eternal destiny, and the only way I'm not going to get into the kingdom is if the sun stops shining, if the earth stops rotating, if God doesn't exist. That's the only way I'm not going to get in, because I've got a promise from God Almighty, and he doesn't lie.